Uber, known as the most corrupt rideshare company in the world. Lyft will never compare because it's so minute in size compared to Uber. So, and then let's be honest, Uber makes the laws, Lyft just kind of follows along. Yeah, they might tweak it a little bit different. And I gotta be honest, I like Lyft features more than Uber. You know, which further makes Uber out to be the most corrupt rideshare company out there. And let's be honest, they probably weren't even considered corrupt until they went public. Well, yeah, they were. They were considered corrupt from day one for a lot of people. But in the eyes of average Americans like myself, I didn't really consider Uber corrupt until they went public. When they went public, they were always stealing from drivers. It was always a thing. They always penny pinching from drivers. But it really became noticeable on a big scale once they went public, because the greed set in, because they have shareholders. We have a capitalist society. I get it. I understand how these things work. You know, I understand the company has to make money, but the greed doesn't have to be so severe, and the company will still grow in profits, and probably would have more profits because it'd be less lawsuits, in my opinion. I highly believe it would be a lot less lawsuits if Uber just followed along, played fairly. And then what is with the algorithm that sometimes Uber will charge different people different amounts, and we have no rhyme or reason why. And this is on the customer side. This is on the passenger side. I've been a passenger where I could take a ride. It cost me $12. Someone else could take that exact same ride at the exact same time. So I get the time sometimes will change the price, but at the exact same time, and it'll be a different price for that different customer. Nobody can figure out their algorithm. It's reading scam for decades, but because they're the one that creates the law, you think about it, Uber created the law around rideshare. How did they do it? Paying off politicians. They literally broke the law in the beginning when it was founded. Scamming, trying to take over the taxi industry, calling themselves a technology platform. They created the law. I'm happy that they're so corrupt. I'm happy. And the reason why I'm happy is because they make the job for new companies easy. And I gotta mention this because somebody said in the comments about, if you're not happy with the pay, why don't you do private rides under the table? And I love how people that view your channel, they always think they know better. And some of you do, but I think the ones that usually know better, they're not the ones commenting, because these people say the most obvious stuff and they swear they're genius when they say it in the comments. Somebody said, why aren't you doing under the table rides to supplement what I'm not getting from Uber? I've been doing that for months. For months now. And the only reason why I haven't built a steady clientele is because of the insurance reasons. I don't want to be out there doing it every day on a regular without the commercial insurance. But I've been doing private rides for months now. I got a lady who calls me at least 3 times a week, but it's random times. And these are not big rides. I'm not going to lie to you guys. They're not big paying rides, but they're rides that if I would have took on the Uber platform, I would make like maybe $6 to $7. And now I'm getting it all. I'm getting 10 to 15 instead of $4 to $6 to $7. So these are short rides, locally, starting to get my name out there. The only reason why I didn't bring it up on the channels is purely because of the commercial insurance. I don't want to be out here promoting, doing anything that's not technically legal, but at the same time, you kind of got to get your feet wet and see if it works. See if you have what it takes to switch the right customer, because there's actually a skill to this. You can't just solicit everybody. But if you solicit the wrong person, you could be wind up reported for some do-gooder that thinks they're doing right and booted off the platform. But it's very easy to spot people that are potential clients because everybody's fed up with Uber prices. So all you gotta do is simply get somebody that's complaining about how high Uber prices are and simply offer them a better solution. Now I am working on going the legal route, but that takes time and money. And I do not do private rides every day. I've been incorporating that in my plan the whole time. But I love how people will be like, well, they're trying to act as if they're coaching me as a rideshare driver. Guys, I've been out here for a while now. I've got experience not only in rideshare, but marketing, online sales, and I'm renting 2 rooms in my apartment. So I have money coming in, but the problem is I still don't want to be scammed. It's almost like people think you don't have the right to complain, because it's only a few dollars here and there. Yes, I still have the right to complain. They are scamming drivers and the passengers. And I love it. I love it because it makes it easier for these companies like Rides. There's another one I think it's called Y-Ride, or Hum is a popular one. They're making it easy for these companies to come in. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Hell, I'm so juiced up. I really wish I had the money. I would build my own map. I would go hire the right people, build my own map for my area in Connecticut, because it'll be easy to get people to sign on the platform. I would say, and I don't initiate a lot of solicitation. I no longer do flyers in the car. I used to solicit a lot. I no longer do that, but I think I'm gonna get back to the flyers simply to promote my online stuff more so. The channel and other online products that I'm putting out. But I'm not gonna be pushing it to solicit people hard, but I am occasionally gonna give somebody a business card or my phone number. And then also get them to subscribe to the channel while I'm at it. You gotta think outside the box, and you gotta always be hustling out here, because simply being only an Uber driver is not gonna cut it in 2024. And somebody said it right when they said, well, your price point is low, because I do Uber wrecks. And that's something I thought about. And I am thinking about going to the higher tiers. Once I get, 100% licensed, registered as a private driver, I want to get a nicer vehicle and go up a tier, a notch, maybe the comfort at least. But I'm only going to do that to convert those people. It's not about making Uber money. And I probably will only drive even less than I drive now for that platform. The goal is to get off the platform, not to stay on it. That's the only goal of this channel, to give you guys ideas and ways to get off the platform. And I think Show Me the Money Club was saying, they did a survey, and I think it was like more than half the drivers in America drive for both platforms. What is wrong with you guys? Unless you got booted off one of these platforms, you have to drive for both platforms, both major platforms. And God willing, you're in an area that has like Rides or Hum, you get that option too. The more options you have to make money, the better off your company is going to grow. Now, I know I never said I would do delivery, but when I set up to do private rides, I'm thinking about signing up to do deliveries under my LLC. Because I know that rideshare is not enough. I might do an occasional roadie deal, or I don't know so much about food delivery, but maybe one of the shopping apps I thought about doing, trying it out just to see how it goes. And if I don't like it, I don't do it again. No biggie. Just to have options. You want to have as many options as possible. And even if I build a client base during the week, let's say where I'm booked Monday through Friday, I may still want to jump on Uber or Lyft on the weekends, which is what I'm probably going to do. Just to fill that gap or that void. I want to take on some private deliveries directly, where I actually go directly to the company, because I found that you have some of these parts delivery places that have small parts they want delivered like the same day. I could literally be signing up for these places directly under my own LLC, eliminate Uber and Lyft out of the equation altogether. So now I'll be doing private rides and private deliveries is the goal. So basically I'll be a courier, limousine driver, and I already know I'm going to take the transportation is a little high risk anyway. But what I found is if you take the taxi and delivery, how you say it, NAICS code of taxi and delivery, it's a little bit lower risk code than, say, trucking. So there's levels to the risk. Like, I know my bank won't even want to deal with truckers, but they'll take somebody that's doing just deliveries and taxi, because they know that's just usually rideshare. So it's a little bit lower risk. So that helps with building a business credit, which is something I'm talking about in my other channels. Links below for more information on that. And on this channel, I'm going to talk about the journey of transitioning out of just doing rideshare. You got to start thinking about transitioning out. I know you see the bigger YouTubers talk about it. I get that. They got bigger channels than me. I get that. They're going to get out to the masses. But this is just my thoughts and my feelings. And I know it won't reach the masses like those bigger channels, but I want to get the message out because there is money to be made off the platforms. A lot of money to be made. Now let's talk about the insurance. I know that Uber and Lyft is guilty of this too. When you go pick up these people at these drug facilities, I've done a few of them, I'm not gonna lie, including these hospital runs. I know that they are charging the insurance companies a lot of money. A lot of money. And then they'll turn around and want to tell the driver that trip is only worth $4, $5, $6, when meanwhile they charge that passenger's insurance $50 for a 10-minute trip. Because let's be real, these people don't know what they're being charged for these rides when they're paid by the insurance. Let me tell you, that is a whole nother industry. You could be doing non-emergency medical rides directly under your own company and getting all that money. It's a longer process. You got to crawl before you walk, but that's just another thing you could do with having your own private rideshare company. You know, the dream is possible. And yeah, I haven't officially closed the deal yet. I'm still working on my process, but I know realistically it's real because I'm already in the business environment on the online space. It's just I want to take the online space and mix it with rideshare and make even more money, because I know that Uber and Lyft is not only going to phase drivers out, but it don't pay like it used to because of the corporate greed. And it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. Even if Lyft says they're going to give you 70% guarantee, we all know that that number is going to go down year after year after year after year. It's never going to get better. It's never going to change. We know this. We know this as long-time drivers. And again, I want to say thank you, Uber. Thank you. Why am I thanking Uber? Because they make it so easy to convert passengers to private rides. Thank you, Uber. Thank you. You make my job so easy. You make my life so much easier. I love it. Another corrupt company I'm riding behind, Amazon. But we don't want to get into that. That might be who buys Lyft. Imagine that. Amazon buys Lyft. Now they become a serious competitor of Uber. Lyft. Anybody from Lyft corporate? Hope you're listening. Think about that. They can position themselves to be even bigger than Uber because they're already in number one in the online world. They already have basically a transportation division. They do transportation. There's a truck right in front of me. So all they gotta do is combine rideshare with the Lyft. And I'm not gonna say it will kill Uber, but we could be talking about a serious competitor at that point. It won't be buddy like Lyft is. Lyft is Uber's buddy. Uber will say jump, and Lyft will say how high. sad part about that is Lyft, when it first came out, was supposed to be the disruptor of the company Uber. They were supposed to come out and be different, and they had this whole culture, this whole young people vibe culture. They were hiring like college kids at these hubs. I remember this. There was a hub in Waterbury, Connecticut Mall, of all places. There was a Lyft hub. I made it a point to go talk to this guy. Very young, no more knowledgeable than myself as a driver. So it's not that they're really smart. I think they just want them to have a degree, just to have it on paper. You know, I think the kids needed some type of degree, but you know, it wasn't required to do what they do. But so they hired all these hubs, they had all these young people promoting the company, and they started closing them and realized it was a waste of money. And they realized we gotta go public and be just like Uber. And the only thing Lyft does different is they just focus on rides, which to me is kind of dumb. I think diversity is better. This is where I think Uber's smarter by being diverse. Uber's not going to go away. Let's just be clear. Uber's never going to go away. They're just making it easier for competition to sprout up. And let's not sleep on Uber not buying out some of these smaller companies once they pop up. Once these smaller companies pop up, I guarantee you Uber will be buying some of them up. You know? And some of them might sell. Let's keep it real. They might. Desperate times, you know? This is why co-ops would be a better idea, but at the same time, co-ops require sometimes too many people involved to make a quick decision. I would love to start my own here in Connecticut. I would love to start my own rideshare company in Connecticut. I probably would put it on a type of monthly package, probably cheaper than rides. Nothing against rides, but I think their core monthly is going to be close to $100. I think that's a little high, but that's just me. But I like the whole monthly thing. I like the whole monthly idea. I would do it a lot lower. I think you could support an app and make the company plenty of money on a 30, probably less than $50 monthly subscription, and just charge a couple bucks per transaction, say $2-3 per transaction. So I would do a lower monthly, but charge a small, let's say $2 transaction fee. No, make it $1. Make it $1 per transaction fee. Every transaction, the company gets $1 on top of let's say a $29.99 monthly fee. I think that would beat out the rides situation. And you could grow the company. And then every year you could up that subscription up by a few dollars. You know? Yeah, people will bitch and moan, but they'll be happy they're getting almost 100% of the fare. Minus, say, $1. So they're getting like 99% of the fare, as opposed to rides 100% of the fare, but you're paying a lower monthly fee. Guaranteed everybody will jump on this model. Drivers will make money. Everybody would be happy. I want to thank you guys for your time. Listen to me rant. And please support the channel. Most of you don't subscribe. Subscribe channel. Links below, and I'll